The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the March 10th, the fantastic Friday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I can make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We're going to go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 8 o'clock in the morning. That's right. If you are listening live, we would love to hear from you. If you're listening to the recorded show, well, we're going to try to make this show as pertinent as we can for you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. You can give us a call at 877-927-6648. If you got a question, then it's between 8 and 9, and you'd like me to review something for you, you can always send me an email as well. For that, you send it to Steve at TFNN.com. And inside the subject, and if you'd be kind enough to put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Fantastic Jobs Friday. Of course, this is Steve Rhodes at TFNN. So give us a call, folks. Right now, if we take a look at what's going on inside the markets, you've got equity futures, U.S. equity futures trading to the downside, off just slightly. The S&P's off 9, the Nasdaq's off 5, the Dow's off 85, the Russell's down 8. Some people say that's not slight, but it's pretty much off of the lows of the day so far, the early morning. If we take a look at what's going on over the overseas, in Asia last night, it was a sea of red. You had the Nikkei down 479 points. Now, it still has an A to B equals CD to the upside that is in place. The Hang Seng down 600 points. That was a 3% move, 1.5% for the Shanghai. That was off 48 points. Over in Europe, you've got the DAX trading down about 1.4%. That's 214 points. 1.7 for the FTSE. That's 136 points to the downside. So we got a sea of red. Will that sea of red continue today in the U.S.? Well, we're going to take a look at charts and try to figure that out. See if there's any kind of tells here before the jobs report data in 21 minutes. If we take a look at what's going on in the commodities space, you've got gold up $4, silver's up 1 penny, platinum's off $12, palladium is basically flat, copper is off a nickel, just consolidate with inside its daily profile. Light sweet crude is off 78 cents, printing out at 74.94. Natural gas is off 1 penny, trade at 2.53. U.S. dollar index is off about 15 cents. I do have a 10-minute delay on that. Trading out at about 105.15. So let's do this here. Let me go to the actually second question that came in, which is from Brent in Martinez, California, since it's going to really cover the futures contracts that we'll take a look at. But Brent's question goes like this. Happy, fantastic Friday, and back at you. To appreciate the analysis of the futures contracts, we have a mixed bag with the YM and ES breaking their swing points yesterday, true, and with volume. The RTY, the Russell 2000, in a consolidation pattern, yet the NQ held its a swing point so far. If you can discuss these patterns, but also look for anything on the shorter term charts for potential bottoming signals, that would be much appreciated, and so on and so forth. So, Brett, you're absolutely correct. So we're going to go first take a look at this chart here, so that people can understand what you're really asking, which is we're going to look at the 4 equity future contracts, the daily contracts. So we'll start in the upper left-hand corner. You've got the ES Mini representing the S&P 500. What Brent's referring to is the swing point, which is at 39.25, was closed below yesterday. And what that then did how about that for grammar out there? What that then did is triggered A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. No, the initial price projection of this pattern is 37.99. Let's go down and take a look at the Dow. So you had mentioned that the Dow had broken through its swing point. It did. Brent, if you go back to the swing high from December of 2022, That's up at the 35,228 level, and you use that for your A point. For your B point, if you go ahead and use the December 20th as the B point, the C point was retracement up into the weekly profile resistance level for the Dow. That took place on February 14th. The 1-to-1 price projection for the Dow, Brent, gets you down to 32,009. You want to know what today's low is? You do. It's 31,994. So the 1-to-1 move inside the Dow Equity Future contract has completed. Now, what this needs in order to generate a Gartley buy pattern, as the NQ is done, we haven't gotten the NQ, that's upper right. We're still in the lower left. But what we need here is a bullish reversal candle. So I have no idea what the candle session is going to look like today. What I do know, folks, Brent, if it is a bullish reversal candle, which could be a hammer, could be a dark cloud cover, could be anything, or could be nothing. If there's no bullish reversal candle that forms, then price will continue to move lower, or should continue to move lower, with its next price objective being in the 31,317 area. But we do have a potential for a bottom pattern inside the Dow. And what Brent was talking about is that with regard to the mixed bag, so to speak, as Brent had put it out there, is the NQ not only has it not broken a swing point, it's consolidating with inside its daily profile. And that daily profile range for the NQ, the bottom or support, is at the 11,975 area, and the resistance at the top of the profile is 12,408. So it has a Gartley buy pattern. So that's the divergence that is out here. The markets are not going to head lower swiftly until we see a close in the NQ below 11,832.50. A close below that negates its Gartley buy pattern, and that would suggest that could actually set up a larger A to B equals CD, but not until we see a close below that. So that's the dilemma out here. But the Russell 2000, as you mentioned, it also broke its swing point. It does have a 1-to-1 price projection, Brent, in the 1794 area. It hasn't reached it yet. So even if there was a bullish reversal candle there, and even if there was a bullish reversal candle in the ES Mini, they're not going to complete any kind of bottom patterns out there. At least not that Stevie can see. So, yeah, we've got that divergence out there. And so it says that, to me, it says the two stock charts to be watching today for clues are the NQ and the YM. So, to that vein, and that's if you were a subscriber to the newsletter, that's exactly what you saw this morning. It's in line with Brent's question here. Let's go ahead and change over to my white background charts because, as I mentioned, the two charts that we should really be following for clues out here are both the Dow, or the YM, and the NQ. So let's start by taking a look at the Dow. Now, the reason that I suggest that is because whenever you have the potential, whenever price has made its way back to the potential completion of a pattern, Rhodes momentum indicator signal, an A to B equals CD pattern out there, whatever it might be, what we're then looking for, if the daily is going to form a bottom, we should see those signals begin first on the intraday charts. As an example, the 10-minute chart would be one of those charts that you'd look for first a bottom, which it has, as Rhodes momentum indicator bottom took place at 2 o'clock this morning. Then how does price deal with resistance? Well, it broke through the first TD9 count breakdown area at 321. It's made its way up to the second level at 322.30. If price closes above 322.30 in the Dow Equity Future contract, then 32,570 becomes a target. To the downside, the area to watch is going to be 32,105. So that's what you start looking at. So we've got bottom patterns, Brent, on the 10-minute, the 50-minute, the 30-minute, the 60-minute time frame chart. That's it. And then the last one could be the 5-hour chart. But this bar doesn't close till 9. We got Jobs Friday in 16 minutes. And it could potentially not be a bullish reversal candle and confirm an A to B equals CD to the upside. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstad's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstad breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds, as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Welcome back, folks. Dow equity futures down about 116. S&P's off 5. Nasdaq's off about 5. S&P about 12 points. For those of you that listen to the show, you know I always start off the show, or typically start off the show, saying that life is happening for us, not to us. And every now and then, and I see that in subtle ways all the time. Sometimes it's very distinct. I'm going to share a story with you about last night, just another piece of the puzzle that proves that life is happening for us, or at least it's happening for Stevie. So my wife and I, we had tickets last night to go see Spyro Gyra down in Fort Lauderdale. They're playing a place called the Amaturo Theater. We always, and getting down there, I mean, like the way back, it took me about 25 minutes. The way down, about an hour and 20 minutes. Traffic was just horrible. So we were running late. We had to kind of rush through dinner and drinking. When we got to the theater, it was just almost impossible to park out there. So we finally get in. We're running late. So, and I've seen, I know Jay Beckenstein. I've seen their shows a bunch of times, and he always starts on time. His show's at 7:30. It starts at 7:30. So we're really looking forward to seeing them. And so we get parked. We're walking into the theater. Now, I've been to the Amaturo Theater a few times. What I didn't realize is that it's really connected to the Broward Performing Arts Center. I just never really paid attention. So I'm following. There's people walking in, and they got Spyro Gyra shirts, so I'm sure we're in the right spot. So I'm following them in, and then things kind of scatter. And so my wife and I, we walk into the theater. We realize that the show hasn't started. We're going, man, this is wonderful. It's almost 8 o'clock and the show hasn't started. I'm like, well, that's weird. So we go to the restroom, take care of that. Now, we were sitting right in the very front row. So we had the front row orchestra right dead center, just maybe 2 seats off from the center to the left. So we sit down. It's starting to get dark inside there. The place is packed. And we're like, man, these are great seats. But what's in front of us is just a piano, and then the drapes behind that. And my wife says to me, she says, "That's odd, isn't it? There's just a piano up there." And I said, "Yeah, who knows what they're doing?" So all of a sudden, the lights completely go down, and the performers come on stage. And you know who the performer was? It was Itzhak Perlman. There was a Spyro Gyra concert going on. It was next door. Here's the odd thing. We were sitting in the absolute two best seats in the house to be able, because there's no speakers or anything along those lines, to actually watch him play. So we kind of look at each other. And now we realize that we're in the wrong spot. But it's impossible to get up. There's a couple thousand at the Broward Performing Arts Center. It's a pretty large theater out there. We're two right in the front. There's no way that we can get up. And each session is a good 20 in any event. So what was cool is I would never have, and we were kind of like saying, how are these two seats available? And we went right to them. The exact same seat numbers, just in a different theater out there. So I just looked at each other. We said, hey, life's happening for us. So let's go just listen to really one of the best violinists, on the planet. I would never have really gone to see him. But just before we got to the show, I said to her, because we're planning a trip to Europe this summer. And I said, maybe we should go see an opera, see if there's any performers in town or anything along those lines. And boom, it just simply happened. So yeah, life is happening for us. And the question becomes, really with regard to Brent's question, what's going on inside the markets that is happening for us? So as I mentioned, we want to take a look at the YM and the NQ. When we take a look at the NQ out here, we've got the 8-panel set of charts out there. We know that on the daily time frame, it still has a confirmed Gartley buy pattern, and price is holding the bullish structured profile area. If we just kind of look to see if there's any bottom signals, well, they're really all along that bottom row out here, the 60-minute, the 30-minute, the 15-minute, and the 10-minute charts, Brent. So I would say to the downside, so we got Jobs Friday. It's going to come out in about 8 minutes or less. We're going to see some movement inside the markets. I would imagine we get at least a spike down lower. And so where would that spike down lower be if we were to hold support? So on the NQ, the levels that you'd be watching are about 11,921, 11,959. Those would be the areas. I would say that if price closes below those areas on a 30-minute bar, not intra bar, but closes below it, then that would be a signal that we're likely going to continue to head south. And we could see at least the NQ at least threaten or test the swing point from March the 2nd. And that low out there, and that's going to be a key area to be watching today as well. That's at 11,832.50. If price were to close below that, then all of a sudden the NQ would join along the ES and the Russell 2000 and trigger an A to B equals CD to the downside. Now, we don't have that, but that's what I would be looking at. Now, you can ask, what do the ES mini charts show us, Stevie? Since so many people are trading the ES, so let's go take a look at those. I believe we're going to see about the same thing. And when I say about the same thing, what we're looking at is the bottom row, the 60, the 30, the 15, and the 10-minute chart each have bottoming signals out here. Now, I'm not sure about the 60 does. It's got an A to B equals CD to the downside. What we're looking at here on those, we're looking to see if there's any resistance levels that have failed. And as these perform, we can see on the 30-minute time frame, price did close above its first breakdown area, 3905.25. I would have thought that would have been the area where a bounce would have found resistance. It didn't. So that signals to you and I, we might see a move up to 39.34. So I think that the patterns, I know the patterns are better inside the Dow, the YM, and the NQ out there. And I think you take your P's and Q's from them. Now, we got 6 minutes to go. Why will markets maybe make that first move lower? Well, I don't know. Let's take a look at market breadth. That's the first one. We take a look at the S&P 500. Now, this is for a 30-minute time frame. What we have is 76 instruments trading above profile, and we have 218 trading below profile. So that to me says there should at least be an initial thrust lower. Maybe it's more than that out here. If we take a look at what's going on inside the NQ for its 30-minute time frame, what we'll see in the upper left-hand corner will give us some market breadth statistics. And those statistics go like this. There's 22 instruments above profile, 42 below. So, and I can share with you that for the 60, the 240, the daily, and the weekly, they're all set to a bearish position. So I would think, Brent, it would be logical based upon market breadth, based upon everything else, based upon what's going on over in Europe, what's went on last night in Asia, that we should at least see the initial thrust should push lower. And from a support standpoint, we've kind of covered those areas, I believe, at least in the NQ and the Dow, and those are the only tells that I see out here. Now, look, folks, we should expect and anticipate that we were going to get at least a bounce. And we've gotten that bounce. So we've seen price come off of the session lows. Why? The reason is because yesterday we had a one-day rate of change in the spot volatility that was above a 10% one-day rate of change move. I'm going to put up that chart right now so that you and I can take a look at that. And those are all the blue arrows here. So the bottom, very bottom panel is the one-day rate of change. And anytime you get above 10%, well, that will get on Stevie's chart. That'll get a blue arrow. When it's below minus 10%, well, we'll get the green arrow. Those are typically initiation moves. Now, what we typically see is a bounce or a bottom form on the next trading session. At this stage, we've had the bounce. Is it a bottom? I doubt it. But what the market's going to do is the market is going to tell us. And at day's end, we will know that. And how will we know that? Well, I think we'll know that one way is if the Dow, which has made the one-to-one A to B equals CD price projection, if we get a bullish reversal candle there, well, then the NQ is not going to bust out its lows, and you'll have two Gartley buy patterns. Something to think about. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be back in just a few, and we'll be ready for the fireworks show.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we got about a minute or so here before we start to see the fireworks. Markets are starting to move right now. So let me make sure I'm on the right screen here for you. Yeah, we are. So we're on the black background screen. And, I don't know what the jobs report says just yet, but we are seeing some market movement, and we expect to see that market movement. As typical. So, again, I don't know what the numbers are. We're seeing equity futures now. They've just taken that move to the downside, right? So we said, you and I, we took a look at the charts. We took a look at market breadth. We said the initial move should at least be to the downside. And what we did here, well, in the ES Mini, we can see that price got down to a breakout level of support, 38.93 on the 15-minute chart, 38.93 on the 10-minute time frame chart, and now we're seeing that move higher. So now the question, I'm sorry, you're not looking at that. Let me switch over to the white charts here. So markets are really, they're behaving just like we had thought at this stage here. Now we've got to put our thinking cap to try to figure out what's next out here. So the what's next, again, so as you take a look at the ES mini charts, I could put up the NQ or the Dow, but you can see that price pulled back to these breakout levels. Now, that's the TD9 count pattern is a very cool pattern. One, it helps us to identify potential turning points. And we can see that happening really before we get there. Once we get to bar number 7, certainly bar number 8, we know to be paying attention to that, but it also sets up those breakdown and breakout levels. Well, the breakout levels have been tested. Now what we're going to watch is the breakdown areas. So just simply on a short-term time frame, on a 15-minute chart, if there's going to be any kind of sustained rally throughout the day, what we will see is we will see price at least close above 39.3450 on a 15-minute chart. That area is being attacked right now. The same on the 30-minute chart, 39.34. Now, these are really important levels to be watching, these breakdown and breakout areas. Here I'm going to put over a chart that I have. We can put any time frame that we want on it. And here, this is still for the ES Mini that we've got out here. So we can see here, this is a 15-minute chart. We can change this to anything that we want. So here, if we change this over to the 30-minute time frame, we're going to see that price is approaching, as soon as this populates, it's approaching that TD9 count breakdown area. So it's already gotten through one level, and now it's at the second level. That's at 39.3450. Now, it's only 8:32, so there's 28 minutes left in this session. But if price does close above 39.3450, what it's telling you is that it wants to then move back to the 4005 level. Again, that's a 30-minute time frame. Let's just up this a tad. Let's go see what's going on a time frame higher right now, and that would be the 60-minute chart. And on a 60-minute time frame chart, it's got a long way to go. Its real price target that it has to bust through to suggest that there might be some kind of change in trend is 39.9775 out there. So that's the first set of charts that we're taking a look at with regard to the ES Mini. And so I'd say we really need to see in the ES a close above 39.3450 to suggest that the market wants to continue to rally even further, at least intraday. Now, what else can we take a look at on this set of charts out here? Well, if we take a look at the 240-minute time frame chart, what we'll notice here is that price stopped right at that oscillator and change line. Now, that's another really valuable tool, folks, and you should want to learn that. And I share it with you, the exact process for how that is developed, and you get that by signing up for Mastering Probability and attend one of the workshops. So you got about 8 hours, 9 hours worth of really important workshop data. So here, what we can see that on the 240-minute time frame chart, which also has a confirmed buy the D point pattern. What does that mean? That means we had a confirmed A to B equals CD. So if we take a look at that pattern here, we'll draw the A to B point out here. So that becomes easy. And I'm just going to move this over to the C point. So we'll move this over here, right to about right there. Close enough for our work. We'll pull it back. So you can see this made more than a one-to-one A to B equals CD. How do we know when an A to B equals CD pattern is confirmed? Really simple. All you have to learn is your bullish and bearish reversal candles. There are really only 7 that you need to learn. If you can learn the 7 bullish, well, then you'll know the opposite of those are the 7 bearish candles. I mean, it's really simple to do. I teach you that as well. So here you got the bullish engulfing candle that confirmed the buy the D point pattern. Now price is running into resistance, which is that oscillator and change line, which is at 39.43 thereabouts. It's going to change by a buck or two as price moves higher. But if price is able to close above that, and we're inside a bearish structured profile, then its next move with regard to the ES Mini is going to be 39.52, and then above that, 39.65. And I'd say at 39.65, if price clears that, definitely something to think about. So what else do we want to take a look at? What else has moved out here? So we've got U.S. equity futures trading slightly higher out there. I will say, well, let's go. I won't say anything. We're going to take a quick peek here and see if anything has changed on a market breadth standpoint. And there's nothing that I see here for the NASDAQ 100. I don't think we're going to see it inside the S&P 500. So still market breadth is still a huge issue at 8:34 in the morning. So this is still set to bearish conditions. So how would you interpret that? Look, I don't know where we will be in 55 minutes. But assuming that these conditions remain, Then when the cash market opens, what we should see is another push lower. So we have market breadth right now for 30, 60, 240 daily, weekly. That is negative. We've gotten the jobs report number out. We've seen price come back and test a breakout level of support inside the ES mini, run up to a resistance TD9 count breakdown area at 39.34. So the market's trying to figure out what it wants to do. I think regardless of what it does try to figure out, unless things change substantially, what we should see when the cash market opens, when Tommy is doing the morning market kickoff, is that first we should see that move lower. Very similar to like this news here with regard to the jobs report. Now, it's not a guarantee, but we do know that market breadth is bearish, and that would be the typical pattern, is that the bears should be able to jump on, and we'll see whether or not those bears can add to yesterday's losses out there. But as Brent had pointed out, we've got divergence out there because the NQ is still in a buy mode, or at least it has a Gartley buy pattern. So that's the kind of the overview. Let's just switch and take a look at the NQ charts out here and see what they actually are doing and what they did do. Where did price pull back to? I don't know the answer to that, but we're going to find out here momentarily as these charts populate. And then we do have at least one question that came in, and I should get to that. That was Alex that came in at 7 o'clock this morning. So, Alex, we'll do that after we take a look at these NQ charts out here. So, what do we have? When we take a look at the NQ, we can see that the push lower was back to support. You and I, we identified that. That was at that 11.959 area out there, the 11.921. That was its breakout levels. As we take a look at the NQ out here, what else do we see? Well, if we go to that 240-minute time frame chart, it too is struggling at its oscillator and change line at the 12.094-ish, 0.95 level. So it closed above that. The next resistance on the move higher would be up at the 12.137 area, and then above that would be 12.353. So at this stage here, we know that support is held. The sellers tried to push it lower. They have been able to. I think we get another push lower. I don't know if it gets all the way back down there. It may, and maybe even breaks out the lows is when the cash market opens. And I'd say that that is a very likely outcome unless we see the markets just simply take off from here. So let's do this. We do have a couple of questions that have come in. I see one from Hector as well, so we'll get to that. But the first question coming in from Alex, and Alex wants to take a look at ticker symbol APA. So those are the charts that we've got up on our screen right now. APA is at Apache. APA is APA Corp. Okay, there you go. And the question is, let me try to span this out. Alex, the text is so small, I wish my eyes could really read that. So it says, hey, Steve, Apache has been dropping. Is there a buy price in sight? Thanks, Alex. Okay, excellent question. So we take a look at Apache, or APA, broke through a swing point yesterday. That swing point was from February 22nd. That swing had volume of 5.4 million shares. Yesterday's move lower was 5.4 million shares. Now, price did not close. Oh, it did close. Did it? Yeah, it closed below that low out there. So you're in bar number 8 on a weekly basis. So this would suggest that you could see a bottom form. Now, what needs to happen here is Apache has to at least spike below the low of 37.08. Has it done that? Low 30, yeah, it did, 36. So it's going to form bar number 8 today. And that says that you should be looking for a potential bottoming pattern, which we'll do when we come back to this break, between this week and 2 weeks out from now. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-Shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. 8:42 in the morning. U.S. equity futures up just slightly out there. The NASDAQ is up 60. The S&P is up about 9. The Dow is up 17. The Russell 3. Again, we're expecting, at least at this stage here, when the cash market opens at 9:30, to see another push lower to try to bust out support areas. And the reason that we conclude that, at least at this moment, at 8:42, there are more instruments trading below the 30-minute profiles and above the 30-minute profiles. So that negative market breadth extends to the 60, the 240, the daily and the weekly timeframes out there. I'm not saying that the sellers are going to win the day, but that's what you should expect and anticipate. If we take a look at what's going on in the metals area, gold's now up about 12 bucks, silver 31 cents. Both gold and silver yesterday confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom patterns. Gold already had a TD9 count bottom. And the 30-year Treasury right now is up 2 full points. Wow. That's quite a move. Trade now to 127.29 as we speak. But let's go back to Apache to do that. And this is Alex. He's trying to find a bottom. So what we established was that on a weekly basis, that today's weekly bar is going to become bar number 8. We know that when a TD9 count bottom forms, it needs to form on bars 8, 9, or the low of the pattern. In this case here, it needs to be on either bar 8, 9, or the bar following that. So we're going to have and typically when you get a confirmed bar number 8, 90% of the time they go on to actually complete that TD9 count bottom. So knowing that we have that out here, what you're really watching for, so the market will answer this question for you, Alex. I've drawn in on the daily time frame, that's in the left-hand panel, the A to B equals CD pattern that is in play as we speak right now. And what you'll see is that price got down to that 1-to-1 level. What is needed here, what's needed is a bullish reversal candle. If you get that today, then that would be your buy. If you don't, what you're doing is you're waiting to get that as your signal. That would then generate or could generate a Gartley buy pattern. Now, if price doesn't hold this area, and that area certainly being 37.71, the bottom of its daily profile that it closed below yesterday, we can see it's also trading below its new weekly profile bottom at 38.07. So really important. If price closed back 38.07, well, we could even, I don't know what the candle's going to look like today, but that's what you're waiting for, Alex. You're waiting for a bull. It's the only pattern that I see right now on a daily time frame that could then trigger you into a long position for Apache. Otherwise, price may be targeting 32.33, and that's at bottom of that monthly profile out there. So thank you so much for getting up early and joining us, and thank you very much for the question. The next question is coming in from Hector and Patty, and Hector and Patty want to take a look at ticker symbol TEX. Let's put this on the black background charts real quickly. And let's go see. That is Terex Corp. Closed yesterday at 57.60. Let's read the question. It goes like this. Happy Fabulous Friday. Tex. Want OUL support and resistance on the daily and the weekly? Do you see continued move higher? So you want some support levels and some resistance areas. So let's just stay on the black background charts here momentarily. You can easily see the market profiles. So on a daily basis, the top of that profile is at 60.37. The bottom is at 57.60. If you close below 57.60, well, let's just open up the daily chart. How often since the low out here, and that low coming in September 27th, that we're taking a look at, how often has price closed below the bottom of a daily profile? And the answer would be, well, it closed below it for basically 2 days. 2 days out there. So and that should have been a change in trend signal. It wasn't. So you really want to watch that 56.97 area, Hector, because you're asking, do we see a continued move higher? Well, at least on these charts here, if you close below 56.97, that's talking to us about a continued move lower. Now, no support levels from a profile standpoint on the weekly or the monthly that are worth really reporting to you. So let's go switch over to those white background charts. Let's go see if there's any other signals here. And as we get these charts on our screen, the upper left, you'll see the daily time frame. You will see that wave number 7. That's a portion of the Chapman wave out there. But more importantly, a Rhodes momentum indicator pattern was confirmed on March 6th. As it was making that high, as it was making that 7th wave move. Why? Because that was both a key reversal bar as well as a bearish sash candle. Now what price is doing is consolidating with inside its profile. Now, at 8:46 in the morning, TEX, let's see if there's any trading going on here. Not much. So the last trade fired off at 57.50. But there's no volume on this. So you really won't know until today, but you do have that top. Now, so remember, we looked at the weekly chart, and we were like, hey, we don't see any profile levels here. Looks like it just wants to continue to run higher. However, not so fast. Why? Because you've got a completed TD9 count, and it appears, won't know till the end of the day, but let's just draw in the A to B equals C. And there's two that you can draw in here. I'll draw in the larger one right now. What I'm just going to really draw is the A to B point. And then we're going to move that A to B point over to the C level. Well, as soon as Stevie can figure out how to drag it. There we go. There's the C point. Now you can see it's made the 1-to-1 move, right? And it's going to complete a TD9 count weekly top today. And again, you get that bearish sash, you get a bearish reversal candle that confirms the sell to D point. What price should do here, and the confirmation for you, Patty and Hector, is going to come with that 56.97. If you see it close below that, that tells you price is running or gutting. When you ask for this, the weekly oscillator changed on at 54.13. By the way, the daily is up at above. Price tells us that the momentum has stalled here. So watch 56.97. If you get it close below that, that tells you you're headed back to 54.13. Nothing really on the monthly chart to assist us there. So I hope that helps you out. Now, what I can share with you, so this will be helpful to you at the opening, is Tex Arcana. No, it's not Tex Arcana. It's just simply TEX as the ticker symbol, and that is for Terex Corp. What Terex Corp did yesterday at the close was it completed a TD9 count bottom for its 30-minute time frame. So on a 30-minute basis, during that 9:30 to 10 a.m. session, if price closes below 57.53, that tells you that it really wants to continue to move lower. If it holds, then it tells you about a bounce up, at least up to the 58.25, maybe 58.55 level out there. So with overview of Tex out here, your question was, does it look like this will move higher? The answer to that is no. If it busts through 56.97, we get to 54.13. And those are what the stock charts are communicating to us. So Hector and Patty, thank you so much for the request out there, and have a fantastic Friday, a fantastic weekend. I don't see, Phil Trade wants to take a look at the ticker symbol ALLY. So let's get that fired up on our screen here, ALLY. Phil, anything specific that you need out there? Had a big move to the downside yesterday, and that actually looks like a confirmed A to B equals CD to the downside. It took out a TD9 count bottom pattern. It did that 2 days ago on March the 7th. So that was a signal that Ally wanted to move lower. Now, if we take a look at the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD pattern, again, I'll do the same thing. I'll just simply draw the A to B, which in this case, that's where it would be, and then we'll just simply connect that line to the C point out here. And so Ally looks like it wants to get back to 24.53. Well, heck, Phil, if it's going to get back perfect. If it's going to get back to 24.53, odds favor that it gets all the way back to its breakout level of 23.65. Now, going for you as well on the short side, you'd like to see this unfold today at the end of today's trading session, is you'd like to see price close below the weekly red oscillator and change line. Why? A red oscillator and change line tells us the price oscillator is below zero. When price is below the red oscillator and change line, it also tells us we have a falling price oscillator below zero. Those are bearish conditions, simply put, bearish conditions. And therefore, a close below that is then going to add to the daily time frame that suggests the A to B equals CD pattern is moving to the downside. And the reason now you want to pay attention to this, hey, look, on a daily and a weekly basis, this has nice Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottoms out there. And on a monthly basis, Ally Financial, it has a nice TD9 count bottom. I would expect this to find support, Phil, somewhere between 23.65 and 24.54. Best of luck to you on that trade. Ally also at the end of the day completed a 30-minute TD9 count. So you want to see a close below yesterday's low right off of the bat this morning. Otherwise, you get a bit of a counter trend rally. We'll be right back.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the gold report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a way to consistently add winning trades to your portfolio? Tom O'Brien is here to help. Tom O'Brien has been successfully trading markets for over 30 years. A frequent contributor to TD Ameritrade Network and CNBC, Tom O'Brien founded TFNN over 20 years ago to help educate investors just like you. Tom's daily market newsletter, Market Insights, is published every morning when the markets open to give you the competitive informational edge you need to succeed. These newsletters are packed full of Tom's advanced technical analysis and are geared to deliver comprehensive strategies for a successful portfolio. Get Tom O'Brien's newsletter, Market Insights, today and try all of our products and newsletters 30 days risk-free with our money-back guarantee at TFNN.com. TFNN. Educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. Dow futures are up 58, S&P 17, NASDAQ gave 83, gold's up $13. Phil's got another question that's for the GDX. Phil, if we take a look at my daily time frame chart, you'll see that yesterday's move lower triggered a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal. That's that black diagonal line that formed out there. Now, what you need today, so we've got confirmed bottoms on the daily time frame for gold and silver. Yesterday confirming Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottoms. Your question should be, will the GDX do the same now today? And it will if we get a bullish reversal candle. Now, I see the GDX in the pre-market. Last trade here fired off at 27.14. 27.14 is above yesterday's open. Yesterday's open was 27.06. Now, I don't know when the cash market opens in 36 minutes from now where it's going to be trading. But here's the deal. If you get a bullish reversal candle, the GDX will confirm a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. And that will then at least suggest a move to 27.40. Well, we're 27.13 in the pre-market. So watch 27.40, Phil. If price closes above 27.40, then your next, and it's got battles. So the GDX has got battles overhead. Why? Because it is trading below profiles, and there's no new profile, at least as of yet. So you also have a battle at 27.80. You also have a battle at 28.50, and your real significant battle would be 28.96. But you would get a bullish reversal. If you get a bullish reversal candle, at least on the daily time frame, you get a confirmed bottom. Whether or not price can take out those resistance levels, that I don't know. If we take a quick peek here at gold, just see what it is doing as we close out the show. It's trading higher, as we know. It's in the process right now of generating an A to B equals CD to the upside. So if I just take a look at the 240-minute time frame chart, we'll just simply draw the A to B point out here, and then we'll just simply move that over, just get an approximation for where this is trading at, and it really would be like this. So we'd be looking at about 1855, but what I see is at 1864.30 is where we have TD9 count breakdown resistance on the 240-minute chart. It's 1859 on the 5-hour chart, 1852 on the 2-hour chart. So what Goldilocks is about to do, it's about to go try to tag resistance levels. The top of the daily profile is at 1856. What you don't really want to see is that price just consolidates with inside the daily profile, Phil. If it does that, I'm not sure about the GDX. But you've got bottom patterns inside gold and silver. The GDX looks like it might also complete a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. Folks, stay tuned. Tommy O'Brien's up next with the Morning Market Kickoff. If you're listening in, please stay tuned. Have a fantastic Friday. I'll see you on Marvelous Monday. Take care, folks.
You might think that if